hate this shit. Hey, listen, you want to do that? Okay. Alright, Scotty, it's up to you to start.
Alright, so what's this park called?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. We're right near the Grace, so I'll fix my hair. We are at the near the Grace Emily in a park with Garrett Cooper of Brave Mistakes.
Do I talk to you or do I talk to this?
You can talk to the people, and at least assume there's one person.
Okay.
Don't assume there's more than that. That's a safe bet. It's a nice way to do it. Like, we're talking to you.
One person.
And you matter. So.
I'm very good at this.
So, now when you were, the reason why I know you is because you are performing in the band Brave Mistakes. When did that actually become Brave Mistakes and stop being Garrett Cooper?
Feb this year.
So February 2023.
Yeah.
So it's really quite it's a new
really
board.
fresh. Yeah, it's a new.
Does
a
it feel like that? You know?
Not now. No, I think this is our 6th show. I think. Yeah, and they're coming thick and fast, and they're fun. Sorry to talk to the one person.
No, talk to me. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah, it's good. We rehearse sporadically. I still write most of the stuff at home.
And what's the rehearsal like? You know, do you have a set space that you go to, or do you do it at home?
It's with all of our busy adult life schedules. It's whenever we can and wherever we can.
Yeah. Needs must and all that sort of stuff. But you're
Yeah.
actually lucky because you're in a band with a person who has a home studio set up.
Yeah.
Do you make use of that?
No, his is a lot better than mine.
Does you have actually studio stuff set up at home?
I've got a very, 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 very small setup.
Does it put the rudimentary?
Yep.
Nice.
It does. Yeah.
Excellent. What sort of software are you using to record? I'm an audio nut, so
Right.
I like these sorts of questions.
I'm using a 2011 MacBook with GarageBand and 2 microphones. That's what I'm using.
What mics have you got?
Just a couple of crappy SM57s.
Those are not crappy microphones.
Oh, they're knocked
Short
around.
SM57s get a very nice recording on acoustic guitar.
They do.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They're legendary. I actually had to sell my SM57 when I was trying to raise money because, I wasn't working and I was home with a baby and my life sucked, and I still miss that 57. I got a Shure 48 recently to replace it, but this is not about me. So you play acoustic guitar. Is that your main instrument? Do you play any other,
I started playing drums when I was about 14, I think, and then changed to bass. I reckon in about 2007-8. Started a band called Bronze Chariot, and it was like a stoner band. Yeah, it was good fun band.
Were you a Roman Empire kid?
No, not at all. No, that was named after a car I had at the time. Yeah. But yeah, good band, fun band. We used to be called Country Doom, I guess.
Nice.
It was good. We had two EPs and an album, and that band stopped in 2000. And I started playing guitar during that band in the last album, and then I started playing acoustic guitar. I think trying to songwrite in 2019 maybe.
Yeah. Right. So it's really quite so you sort of shifted through this process for a while. And the bands that you were in before, did they sound like Brave Mistakes?
Not in any way whatsoever.
So how were they different?
So Bronze Chariot started with I've been in, before that I was in a bunch of screamo, scrams bands and that kind of thing. And Mark that plays in Brave Mistakes, he played in those as well. I met him.
Marcus your bass player?
Yeah.
He has got a very good style.
He does, he's got quite the hair.
Yeah, there's some effort in that, Marcus. We see it. Pay it.
Yeah. The earlier bands were kind of like, screamo, that kind of stuff. And then Bronze Chariot was stoner at the beginning, and then it turned into, there was a lot of Bad Seeds and a lot of Cold Deployment influence in that.
What is stoner? in that way.
You know, like a Electric Wizard, that kind of band.
It's like Velvet Paintings or like Trans Am, because I used to call Trans Am panel van rock. I could imagine them working on their panel vans for a while and then getting bored and going, let's plug in the bass. But Stoner kind of, you know, like so many different types of music that people who like to get stoned make. So what is Stoner music?
It's like heavy fuzz.
So the first song of yours that really caught my attention is one that you sadly don't play live, I understand, which is Slow Ruin. Is there a reason why you pick certain songs to be played live and ones that don't make the cut?
They're more so picked by the rest of the band. So I say, well, here's a new song. Do we want to play it live? And we try it out in the rehearsal space. And we played Slow Ruin at the very first show, and it didn't translate live. It felt weird to play it. It just didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work.
Would you try it again? It's a lovely song.
Maybe. That one and Night Claws, we rehearsed that one, and we just could not make it work.
Is there something that shifts? Because I was listening back to the recordings that you make, and those songs, there's such a clear direction. You can really tell what you're doing with them, where they're going. But there's something else that happens with the live thing, all of the bodies behind the beast.
Yeah.
And then it really kind of just takes off, and it's like live, it's quite amazing.
That's great. I like to hear that.
Like that live set at the Golden Model blew me away. I was just filming it as a favour, right? I was like going, yeah, I'll be supportive, and you know, not to downplay it. I wanted to do something useful, but I didn't think it was going to turn out that good. It's fucking amazing.
Thank you. That was good. That was a good fun shot. I am, yeah. It's good. It's good to have it captured as well. Yeah.
Was it interesting to watch it back and like see it?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
You haven't watched the whole thing?
No, yeah, well, you know, I skipped through, because, you know, your biggest critic's yourself, so like you look at it and go, I don't know. But back to your original question was when it takes off live, I guess, because like they're honestly all better musicians than what I am. So, and they all have their own flavour and their own feel and how they play it, and their interpretation of what I've done already. And yeah, the brief was, when I was asking him to play, was here's this, you just make it better, pretty much, and they do.
It's really like, I think that one of the things that I really like about the band is the way that the songs are so coherent as ideas. So they've got something to really get behind. It's not like you're still working it out. They're so fully formed, and it's like you can feel what you would like to happen with them, and then they make it happen. And but you must so you have like musical friendships. What are those musical friendships like? Because I've never been in an actual band, and I don't really know how it works. Like, what happens?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you start as friends and then play together, or do you play together and then figure out whether or not you can be friends? Like, how does it work?
Well, I know the majority of the people I know through music now. So when my older brother and I've told Mark this numerous times, and he's sick of hearing it, that meeting Mark was my sliding doors moment, I think. So Ben, my older brother, and I put out a little flyer thing at the Underground here when it was still going, saying two brothers want to start a band, and then we got this answering machine message that filled up the tape, I reckon. This nervous guy, and we met him at the Exeter and went walk around the city. I think I would have just been 18 then, and he lived in the church in Umley, so it was like a big share house. So we started rehearsing there.
The church?
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism for a share house? Is that like a name of a share house?
No,
or it was an actual old church?
Big old church. I'll send you the link. If you post this video, I'll post the link so
Alright, there's a
you can read about it.
Alright, the gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I forget how I met Scott. Well, I don't forget how I met Scott, but I forget that it was a big period of drinking.
A ton of tattoos, as do you. Now, I won't get distracted by the tattoos, but I wondered if you actually bonded over tattoos a little bit.
Not really.
Not
no,
really?
No.
It never came up at all.
No. We chat about them and we like them. But like when I met Scotty, it was because through this other guy, Adam, who's a good friend. He lives in the Mornington Peninsula now, and I was hanging out with him, and we went to Enigma Bar, and he goes, "Oh, this is my friend Scott," and I'm pretty sure they went to school together. Or they're really good friends from the hills, and I walked over, and I think at that stage Scott was in like a real Clockwork Orange style thing, so he had like, I can't remember if it was suspenders, but it was definitely a shirt tucked in, and found out that he was a drummer, and Ben and I were just, the other bands had stopped, I'd stopped drumming, and was mucking around with bass, and we said, Scott, do you want to come and drum? And then I think Scott's drummed in all the bands I've been in since.
That's really nice. So
except for one.
Oh, which one was he not in?
There was a band called Damned Men that was going for a little while.
This is all very dark. There's a darkness. I see a darkness.
Yeah. They're all, I guess pretty dark. They're all themed. Yeah.
Is the darkness a theme, or is the darkness the art?
Don't know. I haven't thought. I haven't really thought about it.
Sometimes I don't know about you, but like sometimes I make, because I write, and sometimes I write to get the feeling out of my body because I just can't take it anymore. It's formed. It needs an out, and words are a nice way to, especially rhyming words, which is another thing that I really did want to talk to you about. Like your lyrics, the lyrics that you write, like say in Bald-Faced Liar, you know, hearts break without even being whole. Like that's a great line. And like not everybody can write a line that good. I've seen some shit bands in my time.
Same.
And your songs have got the capacity to carry a lot of weight.
Good.
So good
like
on you.
That's great. Thank you.
Did you write poetry?
I've written bits and pieces over the years. Yeah. Well, I do.
Read poetry?
Sorry.
Do you read poetry?
I was talking about this the other day. That with anything, if I like doing it myself, I'm hyper critical of it. So like
other people's poetry.
Yeah, and like with music or like drawing or whatever it may be, if I like doing it as something that I enjoy doing, then I enjoy teaching myself how to make the sausage, if that makes sense. So like if I'm reading something or listening to something or whatever.
It's not a metaphor I was expecting.
No. Sorry, so if I'm listening to something or reading something, or specifically if it's not like a story, so if it's something that's metaphorical or something like that, my brain doesn't go straight away to appreciating it for what it is. My brain goes to, well, like what's the...
like how have they done this? Have they done this well?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, I can't listen to podcasts or radio, because whenever I listen to radio, I find myself going, that was a really bad back announce. Oh my God, that fade. You know, like I can't just relax and enjoy it because I know how to do it. And so I always think, and I get jealous of people who are doing it as well, which is really dumb because actually there's plenty of room for everybody to make creative stuff.
Exactly.
But maybe there's something in just self-critical people that you can't help going, you're hard on yourself and you're hard on other people.
Yeah, well maybe as well I'm avoidant of it as well, because if I'm then critical or hard on other people or what they're creating, then that opens the gates for me to go, everyone's going to be hard on and critical of what I'm making.
I think that's a fair way of looking at it too. Like, you don't want to be one of those people who can dish it out but can't take it. Like,
exactly.
If you're going to dish it out, be prepared to take it.
Yeah, so I don't dish it out. That's the thing.
You don't at all? This is the avoidant,
I'm
right?
avoidant, yeah.
So let me just think about how to how to edit that bit out, you know, and also how to roll into what I like to think will be the jumping off point. So let's talk a little bit about your guitarist, just briefly.
My chin?
Yeah.
He's a wizard.
How did you end up actually connecting with your music? Because he's been in a ton of different bands in Adelaide. He's really supportive of the scene. How did you find him?
Well, that's the weird thing. So I was talking about this with, again, my brother. We've been in the scene. I haven't been playing in Adelaide as long as he has, but complete crossover, but completely different. So I'd never played any shows with his bands, and had met him in passing a bunch of times. And
Martin played the very first show that I ever put on.
Okay, right.
So back in 1999, I put on an event called the Winterfest, and it was just designed to cheer people up in the middle of winter. Not that I need to cheer up, because I love winter. And Carl and Brett from the Artisans, I think they were all in that band at the time. It was the Retreads, and I just really, and I kind of like, ever since then, it's been like, well, if Martin's in the band, I'll go watch it. It's worth a shot. as much as bothers to show up, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
You know, like-
It's a good barometer.
yeah, actually, yeah. I wonder what it is about like musical communities. One thing I really do like about Adelaide is that people seem to have their heads on straight a little bit. Like, you know, they don't kind of assume that you need to become hugely famous. I mean, fame is nice, but really it's the quality of the music that is the priority in Adelaide.
I've got a theory about it.
Oh yeah, what's your theory?
Is that like so in other bands that went interstate with, the venues or places you go, there's just people there all the time. So you can book a guarantee show and play a show, and there's just gonna be people there. But I think in Adelaide, or historically, I'm not too sure about now, it's been harder to get people to come to your show, or the venues. There's so few venues now, but they're spread out across the city in pockets. There's not 3 or 4 on one street where and you're not going to get walk by traffic that are going to go, oh, let's just go in there, because they're like, the Grace Emily is a fantastic example of that, because it's 800 meters, 900 meters from Hindley Street, and you're going to have to cross 2 pretty busy roads to get there, and it's the only pub there, so you have to go there for a reason. So I think bands need to draw people, have to be conscious about drawing people and work hard, so when people come to their show, they leave with an impression.
It's worth having walked up from the Lion Arts Centre.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that as with I started to go see bands in Melbourne a bit, and I was really conscious of wanting to go see Adelaide bands that had made the effort to come over to Melbourne and support them and really fucking cheer hard for them and just go. And I noticed that the quality of the music was really, really high. And I was thinking, there's something here, there's something about that. And I was thinking, actually, it's always been good. There's always been amazing bands in Adelaide that no one's fucking heard of.
Exactly.
And I like that. I think that's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's good. Well, that's what Spoz watches this. You'll be happy that I'm going to say about Spoz. But Spoz is directly responsible for cataloguing so many bands that only play 1 or 2 shows, or one show, or classic Adelaide thing is bands sticks together, record an EP, break up. But like his catalogues so much of it that Damn Men band I was talking about, I think we only played like 4 or 5 shows, and we put out 2 EPs, and I think 2 of those shows Spoz filmed. And apart from that, and the box of physical copies of the EPs I have in the shed somewhere, apart from that, it just wouldn't exist.
He's a really important part of the community.
Yeah.
I haven't actually met you yet, Spoz, but you're fucking sick, man. I rate you. Do it. Keep going. Because actually that was a really good way to get to know some of the other recordings of the bands that I was sort of starting to go, who's that? We're getting like blokes wandering around in Hawaiian shirts and people with like revved up cars.
It's grand final.
We might get you to just sort of say a hello to the camera and come and see me live type thing. Get good at this stuff. It is a good idea.
No, I don't like
because
it.
like
Good
this
to
will
see
drown you out
and,
anyway. Ready?
Good to see you, and thanks for watching.